It's Kelly. Welcome to December Daily, Day 3. And tonight, the process to get up and to get started went really, really fast. So I'm super excited that is getting easier. It's just a little bit out of practice. Process to get up and to... Except for that part, I forgot to mute YouTube. Anyway, so really much easier than it was the first day. Thought I had muted YouTube. So, hey, Krista. I did have a great day today. I worked a long day today and early, but that enabled me to get home a little earlier and enjoy some just time vegging before I came to do this. Hey, Tammy. I didn't really have that the last couple nights, but because I was in much earlier, I came home earlier tonight. And ooh, Bert, unfortunately, there's no feeling my fingers right now, but oh man, I don't actually know what the temperature is, but when I came home about 2 hours ago, I think it was down to 21, but we've got really high winds and blowing snow. I'm surprised my balcony's not blown off my apartment. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's crazy out there. So tonight we have day 3. This is day 2. I do still have to do the journaling. I might do that when we're done tonight, and I might save it for tomorrow. Tomorrow I think I'm going to be scrapbooking. Yeah, exactly, December. Tomorrow I think I'm going to be scrapbooking during the day and probably in the morning, I'm thinking. So because this is day 2 on this side, day 3 is on this side, and I don't have to worry about what's across from it. Well, across from it, because this is the left page, not the right page. So that's nice. And I did pull this book stack from the Ellie Studio this year's kit. And then I have this Christmas book photo. So these are just my stack of books for that I put under my tree, and I just like to kind of track. And right now this is a pile of possibilities. Just because I have those doesn't mean I'm going to read all of them. It's likely that I may, but doesn't mean that I definitely have to. This journaling card is currently reading, and I'm not really reading a particular book here, but I think it'll be nice just to like the day, like I always write out, like I would write out December 3rd, 2024, just in case part of the page gets separated or something like that. And then I can just talk about that it's the Christmas book stack and how I do this every year. That's my idea. Because I have a 3x4 photo and a 3x4 card, I have this space blank. And I could go in and get a 4x6 card, but I think what I want to do tonight is actually, because I have some time, I want to make a page. So I am going to grab this year's paper pack and just quick go through it. That, you know, green is kind of a nice green. We have my favorite word. I think I like the green, I like something green though better, just because this photo is, because I'm going to put that on top. So we'll see what I can find. That tag paper is cool. So you can either cut those out, and maybe I'll save that to the side. This is also cool paper. It's like file holders. So, I mean, I could cut part of that out, but I don't need the white space for journaling because I've got all that up there. So that could be a nice one. Ooh, and then we have probably what is going to be my favorite. There's these two pieces, and these are each 3 inches, I believe, or something close to it. It might not be exactly, yeah, it is 3. So, because I think that it's taller than 8 inches, really, the paper is. But I like these lists, and I have a white one that I'm going to show you that I have an idea for. And then I have that. There's a nice stripe, but that would get confusing with the books. So I think this is really pretty, but I like the other two just a little bit better in this particular case. That's a personal thing. There's nothing wrong with the other two. It's just personally, I like them better for this. So I just have to decide, do I want that or do I want that? And I'm thinking really, I'd like to do, oh, I was going to say, I'm thinking I'd like to do a tag, but I have tags. I have tags in my, these are from last year. I also have the circle tags that I almost forgot about, that I was looking for ideas to use. So maybe let's look at these, since these are new. Here's one that says love, which would be very appropriate since I love reading. What's the red? The red one is joy. And this one is fun. Oh, there's a star. Because my December reading is fun. Let's see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these other tags. These were in last year's kit, and I didn't end up using them all. So I brought them back this year. But I think what I would like to do is use some of my new pieces. So let me pop these letters out and see. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them into my little dish with the other Ellie Studio stuff. Okay, and I can always, if I don't like seeing the background but behind the fun here, I can always just put another piece of paper behind. Oop, and here's another tag. They're sticking together. This one says December, and that's in that pink, which I do like. But here's the joy. I don't think I need the center of that O. I actually like, I love the word fun, but I like the tag for joy with this particular stack. But I like the tag for joy better because I think this ledger line, hey Elizabeth, the ledger line is a little too noticeable with that. So I'm going to take that and put that away. Then I do need a number for the day today. So we need a 3. I'm wondering, let's see, I have the 3 from last year. The one nice thing about putting the red 3 up here, like up in this corner, is it would lead you diagonally across the page to the red in the joy. So I actually think I'm going to do that. I was thinking about putting the big 3 there, but I'm going to change, well, I hadn't even said that, but I'm going to change my mind and do this one. And I'm just going to stick it on before I change my mind again. Okay, so there's the December 3rd. So we have the number on. That's the big piece that I need. And then what I'm going to do, because this photo is behind here already, and it's a certain size, I'm just going to glue it to this piece of paper, and then I can just trim from that. It's the lazy way to do it, but actually it makes sense to do it this way. And actually I could have just cut a 4x6, but that doesn't always, or actually it's a little bit bigger than that, I think. I'll put this down. Anyway, it makes a lot of sense to do it this way because then you know your back-to-back works and you're not seeing other things behind that. So I said I was going to take a look at this. Yeah, it is actually it's actually 6 inches wide. So it's 6 inches wide, but it's more than 8 inches tall is I think what it is. I'm going to drop this down because yeah, it's like it's 8.5 inches high. So know that when you're doing a page from the Ellie Studio, if you've not used that before, be a little careful because it is actually taller than most of the inserts. It's not a bad thing, but you should be aware of it. Okay, so I have the tags there. And then I'm going to turn this over. Oops. Turn this back here. I think this one can go, well, it can go in unless I decide to put something else on it. So let me wait, like if I do a puffy or something like that. Okay, so then I have that. I'm going to make sure that's the correct side up. And then we have that little joy. I like how there's a lot of space to look at things here, but that I also have room, or I have, you know, that little corner there. So I do have some green. These are those long pieces that I could put in here. So this one is Oh What Fun. Filled with Christmas Spirit. And then this one is In the Air There's a Feeling of Christmas. And I'm just thinking green. I have some pink. I could pop that on just to see if I like it, because there is pink in a couple of these. That one's really long, actually. That will go all the way to the other edge. Pretty much. It's so close, I think I would make it go to the other edge. Because right now the books are sitting on an edge. So it kind of makes sense to do that if I would do that one. Okay. I'm just going to try this pink just to see if I like that. I won't do red because I think that'll blend in too much. Yeah, I like the green. It feels like it grounds it just a little bit more. So I think this one is too short. So let's go with Filled with Christmas Spirit. I'm just kind of playing around here for placement. I could look at doing like another tag or label from here. Not sure that I need to do that because I'd probably want to tuck it behind here. And I don't know that. Yeah, and if I cut this one, that light green is going to be up against this light green, and that's not going to look great. It would be okay if it's white like this or this December one, but I don't know that I need or want white here. So I'm going to save this paper, but I love the idea of cutting that up. It would be, I think, easier for me to use that way. But there was a year not that long ago. Hey, Barbara. Aw, that's so sweet. Yes, Naughty Kelly is living her life. Although I've been enjoying my grandkids. My M1 turns 12. I don't know if I've talked about this in January. And he has a phone at the moment, but what he can do with it is very limited. Like, he can text his grandparents and parents a couple of friends, but not many. And then one of his friends' parents, because they often pick him up. He plays soccer. You've seen those layouts. Like they pick him up so he can text them as well. And sometimes he stays over. It's his best friend. So sometimes he stays overnight there. Otherwise, he can't. But we were texting back and forth today because I asked him for a birthday list. And then I was talking to my daughter-in-law later, and I said, how is he 12? That just doesn't seem possible. Now, my nephews, so I understand how that works. I never had kids of my own, but, you know, my nephews are in their 30s now and have families of their own. So I do understand that they grow up, but still, yikes. I know. Isn't that crazy, Barbara? I wonder if I don't think I have a really super recent picture printed. Boy, I wish I did, because he grew so much over the summer. It's just crazy. They just had some family pictures taken. He's catching up to me for sure, but even his parents, I noticed that he's catching up to. Okay, so I like the way that little tiny mini scrapbook pages, and you can think of them that way, you know, treat them like you do your scrapbook pages. Now, I was looking for something about being cozy or something like that, maybe another phrase sticker. I think I could put that up on here. There's one that says cozy time of year. Not sure that I want to do more black and white here though. And that one, you're going to kind of lose it. Actually, I don't mind that. The other place I thought about was maybe tucked under here, but I think that's too long. So maybe I'm going to do this, because when I think about reading, I think about cozy. I think about myself tucked under my heated throw, because I live in Wisconsin, and outside is trying to kill us. Anyway, so I always think of coziness when I'm thinking of that. So then, let me see if there's anything else that I need to do here. I don't think I need, I mean, there's a lot of blue in here, but I don't think I have to translate that. I think there's enough green and things there. And the blue on here is basically wintry stuff, which this is not about winter. Just think if I add, like I was thinking, do I want to add something there? I could add, there's a house. Not intend that to come off. I like this, that these come on clear backing sheets because it makes it easier. So I was thinking, like, here's the star. I don't think that adds a lot there. There's the white December. I have to get it so close to the J that I don't love how that works. If I could get it out here, I think that would be okay, but it looks like it's kind of crowding it. I do kind of like this one, though. Maybe part of it is being able to rotate this. Oh, but it's still, I still have to get it in there, and it's almost on the J, so we're not going to use one of these circles, but I do like that idea. And then I'm just thinking, do I want to add like some little stars? So I could add like this light green star up on the December 3rd, and then that pulls this huge amount of light green up. It's over here already, so I don't think I need to do that. So I'm going to do that one. And then I was thinking pink star here, there. I do feel like if I do this, I might need to spread some stars in other spots too. Here's a red one, and this is kind of nice because it's the dark. It's like more of a burgundy than red. So I think that's nice. Well, maybe I don't need to do more stars. Because I mean, I could put something up here, but I've got a triangle of 3 stars. So I think that's fine. I could, but I don't need to. So if you want more, add more stars. All right, so I actually think that this page is done. So let me pop them in pockets and we'll glue them together just for fun. You remember how I was looking for, if you were here last night, I was looking for some sort of family sticker or something. I found 2 things when I was going through things. I just didn't see them when I was going through. They were on some older things, and then there was one on those long word strips too. I'm like, well, oh well. Wasn't meant to be on that layout. Okay, so this one I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful when I'm writing because it has the enamel dots on. That's okay. Oops. Oh, guess what? I glued the wrong thing. Harmony, am I making you nervous? This used to make Harmony really nervous when I would rip stuff apart. The ATG is a little bit forgiving though. Okay, so this goes here. I was thinking kind of about this in the order of the way it was on the other side of the page. So Harmony said she's clutching her pearls. Barbara, I just finished Christmas by the Book by Anne Marie Ryan, and I really liked it. It was about a bookstore in a small town in England, and it took place at Christmas, so it was very, very cozy, like a perfect wintry, Christmassy read. And I'm currently reading Christmas at Fairacre, which is a Miss Reed story. So I had never heard of it before, but I was watched one of the women I follow on YouTube likes very vintage kind of looking books, and it's very vintagey looking. There's actually line drawings. It's for adults, but it's like line drawings of people and things in it. And it feels like it was written in, I don't know, like the 18 or early 1900s, maybe 1930s even. It's not early like I was thinking early, but anyway, so it's been interesting. I'm partway through a story. It feels very vintage. So if that's your thing, it would be a great book. The jury is still out for me, but I haven't even finished. There's 3 short stories in it. I haven't even finished the first one, so we'll see. And then I'm thinking my next read is going to be either Mr. Dickens' Carol, which is a story about Charles Dickens and A Christmas Carol, or my other thought is a book called An Ivy Hill Christmas, which I think is more like the 1800s time frame. Not quite that old, Barbara. I guess it's even, maybe it's more 30s, 20s or 30s, because the more I think about it, it doesn't go back that far. It's really interesting. And there's a whole series of these books called Miss Reed is the name of, and I don't know who Miss Reed is yet. So it's written by somebody else, but that's what the series is called. So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. Like I said, the verdict is out. You know, if you ask me in a couple days, I might know a little bit more about that. A lot of times at Christmas, I read like silly contemporary Christmas romances, but I was in some used bookstores this year and found some Christmas books of things that I had been interested to read, and the prices were so good, I just pulled them into my own stash. I've already passed the Christmas by the book on to my sister so that she can read it this Christmas. But anyway, so that's what I'm currently reading. All my physical reading will be these books. On my audio books, I'm going to try to finish at the beginning of the year. I picked 25 books that I was super interested in, and I have a cart, our Michael's carts that we all use for scrapbook supplies. People who love books use those to store books in them as well. And in the top of that, I put these 25 books that I was highly interested in, and my goal is to read 12, so one a month. I have 2 left, so I'm going to finish those this month. So I'm reading the 3rd book in a series, the Crazy Rich Asian series. I'm reading the Rich People Problems, which is the 3rd book right now, which is just good fun. And then I think I'm going to read The War Girls by V.S. Alexander. So it takes place in World War II. Other than that, I don't know much about it. And then the next one I'm going to read is, and I can't think of it. It's by William Kent Kruger, This Tender Land. And I know a little bit about that book. So, hey, Carol, you just made a live. Aw, thanks. So that's kind of what I'm planning so far for my read. So my audio books, and I tend to listen to those when I'm doing dishes or cleaning or driving in the car. I used to commute 35 minutes to work. I don't anymore. I'm much, much closer, but I still, when I'm in the car, I'm okay with that. A lot of people can't listen and do that, but I'm okay with processing and paying attention. It's sort of background to me, but I'm still comprehending the story, I guess. So I'm very picky about what I listen to because sometimes super serious books are hard. Fantasy is hard for me to do audiobooks, and sometimes books with really heavy accents, like even like a really heavy English accent, can be hard to do as an audiobook sometimes, unless you slow it way down. I listen to my audiobooks about a 2.0 speed. Definitely 1 or even 1.5 is a little bit slow for me, and that's something you acquire as you continue to listen to books. Your mind just sort of catches up eventually. It's the only way, because when people told me when I first started listening to audiobooks that they were listening to them at like a 2, and on a book chat once, somebody was reading at 3 on an audiobook, and I'm like, I don't even know how you do that. And that would be too fast for me. But anyway, so there's a little book talk for you thrown in there too. So lots of fun Christmas reads and some other stuff that I'm reading this year. I am on Goodreads as Kelly Oblack, if you ever want to know what I'm reading. And I have read to date 199 books. So I'm going to read over 200 books this year, which is just crazy to me that I'm actually going to do that. Next year, I said this last year though, too, I want to slow myself down, but I've just been having some really, really good reads this year. So anyway, so here's the page, guys. The picture of my pile of possibilities, my book stack here. The currently reading card from Ellie's Studio, and then this card that I made with the die cut of the books, that new circle tags from Ellie's Studio, one of the long phrase stickers, and then a star here. So Gail just said that The Women is a good one from Kristen Hanna. I think The Women is a really important book to read, especially if you were not alive during the Vietnam War or you don't know a lot about it. I think it's a really good book for that. But I will tell you, I have a very controversial opinion about that book. And my mom and I were just talking about this because she just finished it. For me, it was about a 3 out of 5 stars. I was very neutral on it. There was a plot point where I think she took an easy way out, and I'm not going to say anything because I think you should read the book, most definitely. Even for me, I'm really glad I read it. It wasn't a bad book. It was just not one of my absolute favorites. And when I told my mom kind of what was going on or why I kind of felt that way. She's like, oh, I never really thought about that, but I can see where you're coming from that. So I love Kristen Hanna. She's one of my absolute favorite authors. She wrote The Nightingale, which is definitely one of my all-time favorite books. That if you have not read that book, read The Nightingale, because it's amazing. And definitely read The Women, because it's an important book to read. You'll understand the women's roles in Vietnam and how that was received, especially when they came home. So Harmony just said that she can do a 3.0 audio. You're amazing, Harmony. That is just amazing. So anyway, so definitely it is a great book to read, but Nightingale for me is, I don't know if anything's going to knock that book out of for her for sure, my all-time favorites. And I cannot tell you that that's awesome. Harmony, I have 2 grandkids who are ADHD, and my daughter-in-law said, well, the good news about that is they can do this, or we'll say that every so often. But anyway, I do not have a favorite book because I read too much, and I have loved quite a few, but The Nightingale is definitely one of my top 5s for sure. So before I go, I'm going to take a quick drink because I want to show you something else tonight. So if you watched my channel before and you've done December dailies, you know that, or you may remember that each year I do a page with pictures of gifts from my clients. And I'm always writing it on like writing paper, like a just piece of crazy note paper, and then I have to transfer it to something. Well, LA Studio sold these on this day in December. Like it's almost like a notepad, and they are 3 3/4 inches wide. If you cut it down and cut this green strip off, it would be 3. But I'm thinking this would be a great place to just punch holes and put it in your book here. So my clients have been giving me a lot of gifts this week, which I was flabbergasted about because I wasn't even thinking about that. And they're coming in with all these amazing things and homemade things. Like I got homemade applesauce and apple cranberry chutney today. I mean, they're so lovely and kind. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write their names and then the gifts here so that this can go in my book. And then what I'll do is I'm imagining that I'm just going to punch the holes here. I could attach it with the attacher pieces, but this will fit. If you look at this, this will fit nicely in the margin, and then you'll see the white part. And then I can either leave this plain, I could decorate it as it is, I could add paper to the back of it and decorate it. More than likely, I will go past this and need to write on it here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to probably do is, do the writing, and down here I'll probably embellish it somehow. And I won't do this until late in this season. This is a lot of times one of the things that appears in my week after Christmas thing. And if I didn't get it in before that, it just is an extra page in my book. But then I'm thinking I'll take behind that will be pictures of the gifts. And I never know how that's going to look out, or how that's going to actually look until the very end. So I'm going to take this, and I've got some gifts that right now at home, so I need to put those out. This also helps me write thank you notes too, if you're intending to do that, to kind of, you have a list of things. And then it's just a nice memory to go back and look at it and go, oh yeah, you know, I have some decor around my house, or, oh my gosh, I remember when they did that really sweet thing for me, or whatever it is. So, or the funny thing they did, you know, that kind of thing. So there's a little extra hint. And I think I showed this to you. There is a paper in here that has this, but in the colors. So this would be 3 inches wide. So you could put the attachers on these and use those as lists as well too. But I think this is cool, you know, kind of a neat way to do a list. It could be, you know, you could write down if you have to grocery shop for Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, you could do that. You could write down, I don't know, all the places you saw Christmas lights, or you could, if you have kids or grandkids, you could have them write out their Christmas lists on these and then do a page about that. And I think it would be cool if they're old enough to write, to be able to do that. I mean, that would be really cool. So there's lots of different things that you could use this for. And it's an easy page because it's basically, especially if you're using these, you punch them and you're done. You can go. So yes, cranberry is right. Right, Harmony. All right, you guys. I think let's see, Krista said she's a teacher and she always has at least one day in her book with special gifts her students make her. Oh, that's really sweet. And those are some of my favorites always, is the things that people make. You know, that's a cool, you know, that's a cool thing too. It's just because it's so from the heart and that kind of a thing. So, and one of my clients this year, and you'll see a picture of it, made me these incredible lanterns, and they use candlesticks and then some sort of jar and then a top, and then the candlesticks are black, so it looks like a street light. And I have 2 of them, and then she put fake snow in it. Sorry guys, she put fake snow in it, and then a little tea light that you can turn on, and it is spectacular. So that's one thing I need to unbox and get done. Okay, that's my body telling me to stop talking. Thanks everybody for joining me. I will see you tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. So good night, you guys. Bye, everybody.